Michael Bosey. Welcome to episode 200 of Marketing Without the Marketing. I can't believe that I have the privilege to say that. That's crazy. Crazy milestone. 200 episodes. And I'm going to keep this short this week because, I guess I'll just bask in that milestone a little bit and say thank you because without you, I would not have kept this up, right? I mean, all the comments that I get from you, the interaction, pose a question, you answer, you help me out with your feedback. I would have stopped this a long time ago if it wasn't for you. So all I can do is say thank you. And I hope that this whole thing serves as a model for you as well, that you can do it. There's really nothing standing in your way except for perseverance, right? Like I'm not special. I don't have some ability that you don't. Anyone who's producing stuff and putting it out there on the web, we're all going to have our ups and downs, and I certainly have with this podcast. But the only thing that you can control is to keep going when others give up and to listen to you, the folks who are actually paying attention and, gracious enough to give me your attention. I need to listen to you, to adjust, to look for the signs out there, the likes, the shares, the comments, the things that you respond to. That's why I've done a bunch of rants recently. Those tend to get the most comments one way or the other, and spur discussion, and people who are either cheering me on or saying, "Oh, that's crazy. Like, cut it out. You're being too harsh." Okay, good. Like, at least it provoked a response, or for you to think about something a little bit more. To me, that's what I look at as my job in all of this. But here's the thing: if you didn't show up, I wouldn't be doing this. So again, my heartfelt thanks to you on this. And the only thing that I'll add is that, the change that I've made recently in all this is I wanted to go a little bit broader than just small business and creatives. So that's pretty broad in a sense. But, everything I've been doing, especially over the past year or two, I look at as helping folks figure out or strategize around what is the digital representation of you. That's what I call it, right? What do you project out into the world? How is it received? How can we, not control it because we're never in control of it, but how can we fashion it in a way that presents to the world what we want it to, right? That'll actually be received in that way. And this is a broad concept. This doesn't just benefit those who are running small businesses, though I'm always in favor of that, always in favor of small players, going up against the consolidation of power. I want these folks to succeed. Centralization is rarely good for the little guy, those trying to make a living and whatever. This is why I do this podcast. But it to me, it also can be used, this digital representation of you or your concept, to help push forward social change. And the way that we handle the best ideas that society has to offer right now to combat the worst concepts that our society has been putting forward over the past 5 years in particular, though it's existed for a long time. The folks who wish to do ill are really good at the messaging, and the folks who are progressive and trying to make forward progress happen for human beings in this world of all types. Historically, we've been pretty bad at that, and there's good reasons for it. And I want to examine that, not just from a media criticism standpoint, because, look, there are folks, with fancy degrees and whatnot who can do that better than I. but to look at what are the things that we can do in the way that we craft our message around those ideas so that they can take hold. It's never a guarantee, but we want to give these ideas the best chance at success. And that project for me is called Consider the Source, which I'm doing on Patreon. And you can find that at patreon.com/mbosey, link in the show notes. And the point of this is to have a broader base, right? To be able to deal with messaging in a more general sense, not just the business realm, right, for this podcast, but anyone who wants their voice to be heard and understood. This allows me to, handle things that maybe, in the contained version of this podcast, I can go beyond that now, right? And if you're interested in going beyond that too and want to come along with me on this journey, awesome. That'd be great. For you who are listening to this podcast right here, I want to honor and respect your time and not, put a bunch of stuff in this podcast that you're not interested in. I don't want to bug you with the things that you didn't subscribe to. It's really that simple. And also, by the way, a requirement when we want to do our marketing like this in respectful, ethical ways. I don't want to push something on you that you don't want. That's not nice. But if you do want to join me on this other project, of course, I'd be glad to have you along. It is exclusive episodes. So in other words, things that I don't publish on this podcast. But I also offer early access to episodes of this podcast in Consider the Source. So, I might release things a week or two early, depending on how on top of it I am. And this project also includes one of my other deep interests that I've been doing for years, which is songwriting, using my voice in a different way. I've been writing and producing songs for 30-something years, and I've been doing a lot of writing recently, which has been great for me. And it's been on issues that are relevant to this topic, things that are pushing forward good ideas, hopefully, right? Progressive ideas, things that are dealing with social equity and fighting against the forces that don't want to see that happen. And I feel like, hey, look, that's an expression of myself as well. So, that's going to be included. So we talk about songwriting and getting that message across. And I'm sharing a lot of things that are behind the scenes, works in progress, just so you can see my process and maybe learn something from it. And we do this thing together. And, then the interactions that happen within the platform itself, that's been really gratifying. It's a closer knit group rather than just sort of projecting something out in the form of a podcast. This allows me to bring a smaller group in to talk about these things that I and we care about. So it's been kind of cool. All right, as I often do, I went on longer than I thought, but really my goal here was just to say thank you. 200 episodes, 200 blog posts, 200 anything is... it's a milestone, and I'm proud of it, proud of the work that I've done here over the past 200 episodes, and I hope that you'll continue to give me the opportunity and the privilege to continue. I really appreciate it. With that, I'll see you on the next episode. Thanks again.